What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm bringing my Dragon Ball Z tag courtesy of Qaaman, who just tagged me. In case you haven't seen his video, I will link in the description below. But basically, there's 21 questions that I have to answer about Dragon Ball Z, and I encourage you guys to actually answer these questions as well in the comments below. So if you want to answer all of them or just certain ones, feel free to do so in the comments. But before I start, I want to set out my challenge. I challenge Jadentastic, C-Reacts, and Expert Games. So go to their channels to tell them that I challenge them to this tag, post the questions, or just tell them to basically look at the description of this video and do the exact same as I did. So without further ado, let's talk about Dragon Ball. So the first question is, who is your favorite character and why? That's an easy one. Beerus. But before Beerus, it was definitely Future Trunks and Teen Gohan. But it tends to fluctuate. But honestly, after Beerus was revealed in Battle of Gods, he's easily risen to the top. He's the most interesting to me. He's awesome. He's funny. He's very strong. He's sarcastic. And he's very mysterious. And because of that, Beerus to me is easily my favorite character. Next question goes to, or is, who is your favorite villain and why? Ooh, favorite villain. Oh, duh, Frieza. I don't know why I had to think about that for a second. Definitely Frieza. To those who've been part of my channel for a long time now, you guys know that Frieza to me is just a great villain all around. He is very sadistic, he's evil, he doesn't rely on any crazy like regenerative powers like Kid Buu and Cell did, and on top of that, he keeps coming back. Like he came back in the movies, he comes back as Golden Frieza, he got sliced up, completely defeated in the series, and he just kept coming back. He is an awesome villain, and I feel like what he portrayed as a villain was perfect in terms of what I like to see inside a villain. So without further ado, he is my favorite villain. Easy one. Next question is, what is your favorite quote and or statement? Easy. Let me go ahead and pop this out real fast. I kind of read ahead for the questions before I jumped into them, so I'll be kind of more prepared and ready for them. But I honestly don't have that many favorite quotes or statements, but the ones that always come to mind, the first one is always what Gohan said to Super Buu when he showed up. And it was like, hee, are you gonna fight me? And Gohan goes, no, I'm going to kill you. And that moment was just so epic in the anime. It is the first time we see Gohan come back after being pretty much a punk, after being Cell. And for him to just come out of nowhere, being this like crazy, mystic, awesome, potential unleashed form, was just awesome to me. And that's the one that sticks out the most. I mean, obviously there's a lot more. Actually, it was kind of a tie between this quote and the speech that Goku made to Frieza on Planet Namek. But the reason why I went with this one is because I remember it more. Even though the quote that Goku had is more memorable, I always remember this a lot more just because it's a lot easier to say. But that's easily why that is my top quote. Next question is, what is your favorite? Oh, I just did that one. Which is your favorite female character? Assuming one isn't your favorite. My favorite female character is Bulma. Actually, it's funny because Bulma, for the longest, I thought about like, why is she there? Is she important? Bulma is one of the most important characters in the series. Without Bulma, there is no Dragon Ball. She's very, very smart. She's not annoying. I feel like between her and Chi-Chi, you want a Bulma. You don't want a Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi's the one who will nag you for the rest of your life and just be annoying. Whereas Bulma is great. She just kind of stays out of your way. She's very supportive. She also does a lot of stuff that, helps the series, the stories, the characters kind of progress. So Bulma is a highly important character, and because of that, I gotta go with Bulma. But if I could choose a close second, actually, I don't even know, because Bulma's literally the only one that comes to mind. I mean, to be fair, there hasn't been that many females in the Dragon Ball story. I mean, there are a lot, but not ones that completely stand out outside of Bulma and Chi-Chi. But I gotta go with Bulma, just Bulma, because she's been there for longer, she's very important, and without Bulma, there is no Dragon Ball. Alright, next question is, what is your favorite fight? Includes everything. Ooh. Okay, so for the longest, it was actually the Frieza fight between Goku and Frieza, obviously. But after seeing how, Toei did the version of Dragon Ball Super's Battle of Gods fight between Beerus and Goku, I gotta go with that. I actually rewatched that fight the other day, and I might do a separate video just kind of reanalyzing and showing off why I like that fight, in the format of a video, of course. And I just thought it was very epic. Like, we see this new form with Goku, we see this new incredible villain, and it's just, the plot twist ends up being that Goku still loses. So I gotta go with the Beerus Goku fight. Again, Beerus is my favorite character. I like where they're going with the story after Dragon Ball Z ends, and it just makes sense to go with Beerus versus Goku. And Dragon Ball Super, even though Battle of Gods, the movie was great, I think that they did that fight a lot better in the anime as opposed to the movie. So yeah. Next question is, what is your? I'm getting lost here. What is your favorite episode? Favorite episode? Easily gotta be when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2. I think out of any moments in Dragon Ball or clips or whatever, the one that always stands out to me the most is, I forgot what episode it was. I think it was episode, like 170 something. I'm not really sure. I might be completely off too. Doesn't matter. The one where Gohan goes Super Saiyan. it's just really epic to me. I mean, I watched that part when I was a kid. And I remember being a kid, like, you look up to Gohan, like, wow, Gohan's my age. Like, this is awesome. I want to be just like you. And then he goes Super Saiyan 2 and just absolutely strikes fear into Cell's heart and then destroys all the Cell Juniors. That was such an epic moment, although that was 2 episodes, but you got the point. Just that moment right there was probably easily my top 5 favorite moments in Dragon Ball, so I gotta go with that. So, if that counts. Next question is, what is your favorite song? Oh, so this is actually going to throw you guys all off because it's probably the last thing that you guys will make me. It's probably the last thing you want to see me talk about, and that is Dragon Ball GT. Dun Dun. Dun Dun is easily my favorite Dragon Ball song of all time. Well, no, I take that back because it's very, very close to the original Dragon Ball song. Dun 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 Dun. But that one has kind of a nostalgic factor, so by nostalgia, I automatically love it. But honestly, when it comes down to it, I listen to Dun Dun the most. Like, Kayla has it in her car, so naturally when we're driving in her car, we play that song. So definitely got to go with Dun Dun. But it's really, really tough because there's a lot of great Dragon Ball songs out there. And between the original Dragon Ball song and Dun Dun, it's pretty close, but Dun Dun just barely makes the cut in terms of my favorites. So yeah, these questions are getting kind of tough now. Oh my gosh. When I first read through these, I was like, oh, these are pretty easy. I can answer these, no problem. Next question is, what is your favorite movie or special? Movie or special? This is tough because I really love the Resurrection F movie, but now that I think about it, Battle of Gods is also a really good movie. And going back, there were a lot of you know what? Actually, Episode of Bardock. Episode of Bardock is my favorite special, just because if that counts. Well, it says movie or special, and that's special. Definitely Episode of Bardock, just because it gave us a different glimpse of the Dragon Ball era. It's very short. It's 20 minutes. It's short, sweet, and to the point. It shows off a little more of Bardock, who's an awesome character. On top of that, we see him go Super Saiyan. And even though it's not canon, it still offers a pretty good what-if scenario. Like, what if the reason why Frieza's race is scared of the Saiyans because of all what happened here? So I gotta go with that. If not, Resurrection F, honestly, because Resurrection F, again, it's full of action. It's pretty funny. It brings back Frieza, so no-brainer right there. But for now, I think I'll go with Episode of Bardock. Man, again, this is a lot tougher than I thought it was. What is your favorite race in Dragon Ball? Surprise, surprise. What is my favorite race? It's the Frieza race, duh. Again, I like the Frieza race because they're so powerful. They, have this crazy strength inside them. They have to master forms within transformations and stuff. They have a bunch of different forms as well. On top of that, they have limitless potential, essentially. Can you imagine how much stronger Frieza would have been had he just been trained since day 1? Insane, yeah? And on top of that, now they're expanding on and they're showing us more of the Frieza race characters. They're showing us like Froze in the Extended Universe, or even Frost in Dragon Ball Super. I am curious to know what else they're going to reveal about this race. Probably the name. I'm hoping they show us at least the name of it, because as of right now, the Frieza race is a lame name. But, we'll find out with more of that as the story progresses. But for now, it's definitely the Frieza race. I mean, you should know that because of Xenoverse, I pretty much only played the Frieza race from the entire time, because they didn't look the best, actually. That's the reason why I played the Frieza race from the start. Next question is, what is your favorite Dragon Ball video game? Surprise, surprise, again, Xenoverse. If it was outside of Xenoverse, it's between Infinite World and Tenkaichi 3 and Burst Limit, which is kind of, you can't pick 3 games as your second place. But each game I love in a different way, I'll say that. So Tenkaichi 3 I had the most fun with. I spent the most time playing that with my friends. Burst Limit and Infinite World I like to really, play like a fighting game, essentially. Like you can link combos together, you can get pretty intense and insane. And then Xenoverse, Xenoverse I think is like the perfect casual game for Dragon Ball fans. Xenoverse was like easy to pick up for anybody to pick up and play, and at the same time you could kind of get pretty decent with it as well. And on top of that, it wasn't too dumbed down like Battle Z was. So I feel like Xenoverse is a perfect game for casuals. Whereas if you're looking at the original games, with that offered a little bit more skill and like stuff to learn, it's definitely between like Burst Limit and Tenkaichi 3 and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a personal preference, honestly. I know there's people going to watch this and be like, "What? Xenoverse for real? Like out of all games?" Yeah, I actually like Xenoverse. I'm not just making videos about Xenoverse every other day because, it's part of my channel. I'm actually having fun with this game, which is why it's up there. Which is also why I came here for Xenoverse 2. Number 11. If you were in the Dragon Ball world, who would you train with? Actually, we did a video about this. Honestly, I would say King Kai. Because with King Kai, it will be tough, but he won't kill you. Again, going back to all the other potential masters, I feel like Master Roshi, there's going to be a point where you're just kind of like, alright, that's it, I can't teach you anymore. He'll obviously want to teach me how to fly and stuff like that. You got the other masters like Shen, for example, who is kind of a dick. He's evil. you know, like TN's Master. Of course, you got Whis, but I feel like with Whis, I would literally die, and I'd rather not die while training. So, out of all of them, I gotta go with, you know, with King Kai. It's tough. It'll take some time to get strong, but I feel like the result in the end, after like, you know, months and months and months of enduring crazy training, it will have a great outcome, I guess, when it makes sense. So definitely King Kai. And if we're to talk about villains, I gotta go with probably Cell, because Cell, I feel like, wouldn't kill me, number one, and two, he knows every single move essentially. So definitely Cell. Next question, number 12. What is the saddest moment? What is the saddest Dragon Ball moment? Ooh, this is actually tough. Saddest Dragon Ball moment. It's between Vegeta's final explosion against Majin Buu and when Goku saved Gohan from Cell exploding. And I gotta say, both of the moments are the ones to stick out the most. Actually, you know what? If we can even think about beyond, because we go into like History of Trunks, for example, where he watched Gohan die. That was also pretty emotional. This is really tough. But you know what? Out of all of them, I'm gonna go with Final Explosion with Vegeta, because when he explodes and you know, changes and like does something that's not selfish for the first time, it was just, you felt him more. Because the whole time you're not expecting Vegeta to be this kind of character, and here he is doing you know, the unexpected, and because of that, definitely Vegeta's Final Explosion. Again, these are getting pretty tough. All right, next question: what is the most shocking moment? Shocking moment. Ooh. Most shocking Dragon Ball moment. Oh my gosh, even I have to think about this one, because, well, is it moment specifically? Because the most shocking moment about Dragon Ball is probably when the series came back, because that's the last thing I expected. I mean, there were so many rumors growing up, like I remember back in like even 2013 or like a couple years ago, where it was like, yeah, no, excuse me, 2012 actually, before, no, 2012, yeah, 2012, 2011, where rumors were going around that Dragon Ball Z was going to come back in the form of an anime, and everybody was always like, nah, no way, this will never come back. It's just Toriyama's done. You know, we don't want another GT. It's never going to happen. Like, give it a rest. And it came out of nowhere. So I gotta say, Dragon Ball coming back is the most shocking moment, because that's the last thing I ever expected in this, you know, with this series, for it to come back, and it did, which I'm excited about. So that one. Again, if you guys want to answer any of these questions, feel free to do so by just commenting below right after you see me answer these questions. Or if you want to answer all of them, the questions are going to be in the description below. Next question: what is the funniest Dragon Ball moment, and who is the funniest character? Funniest Dragon Ball moment and the funniest character. Oh my gosh, this is. You know what? I'm gonna actually. Oh my god. Well, Dragon Ball was the one that was mostly funny. Dragon Ball Z had a lot more action, and it was more comedic around the Buu saga, which is probably one of my least favorite sagas. So I'm actually gonna jump forward to you know, Dragon Ball Super and talk about actually the training between Goku and Vegeta, just because when they interact, they're funny, because Goku's an idiot, Vegeta's all serious, and I feel like when they clash together, they bring the perfect combo. As far as, or even, actually no, funniest moment is when Beerus is attacking. I probably should talk about it because it might be a spoiler. I'll just say this: my favorite moment or funniest moment is any form of interaction between Goku and Vegeta and Beerus in a Dragon Ball Super training. That's all I will say. I don't want to spoil it in case you guys haven't caught up to episode 28 and stuff like that. But that part was hilarious. I was dying the other day. No, actually, no. Stop the presses. The funniest moment in all of Dragon Ball, in my opinion, is that moment where those aliens showed up in the episode where Hercule was supposed to fight that dog thing, and he wanted Goku to fight for him, and then Goku saw Chi-Chi, and he was like, hit me. Oh no! I gotta pick up this truck. Oh no, I gotta keep flying. That is easily the funniest moment. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in all of Dragon Ball. As far as the funniest character, I gotta go with Jocko. But Jocko is a questionable one, because he's funny in the movie, but in the anime he wasn't that great yet. So hopefully that will change. But you know, if I could pick that one character, because I don't think funniest character when I think about Dragon Ball characters, because again, the series will be more about action, whereas Dragon Ball has been more about comedy, you know, growing up. So I gotta say, again, funniest moment is the moment where Hercule punches Goku and he like flies away, picks up his truck and flies away even more. And then funniest character, I'll just go with Jocko for now, because I remember Jocko was the one that stood out the most when it came down comedy after I saw Resurrection F. All right, number 15. What is the most memorable moment? Easy, Goku going Super Saiyan. Hello. I feel like that moment like made us kids men as kids. I remember I was like 10 and I was like, yep, I'm officially a man right now. My voice dropped and everything, or my voice changed and everything. And I was like, yep, I'm officially a man. I didn't actually say that, but I feel like, you know, that moment was very special to all kids growing up when you first watched that. So definitely that one. Number 16, how do you prefer to watch Dragon Ball? Original, Funimation, Kai, or other? I grew up under the original Funimation dub. Now, I've been watching a lot of Dragon Ball Z Kai lately, and I see, you know, it's obviously better in terms of voice acting, in terms of being pure to manga, stuff like that. And then, of course, I've been watching the sub version of Dragon Ball Super every single week. So, I'm gonna say, honestly, I don't care. There is no preference to me. Any kind of Dragon Ball, if it's in subbed in Japanese, if the Funimation clips are on, or if I'm watching Funimation episodes, or the Kai original, or not the original Kai, but the Kai version is playing, I don't care. Any form of Dragon Ball, I will watch, so bring it on. There's no preference for me here, honestly, because if you try to have these preferences where you prefer one thing over another, maybe you like the manga over the anime, you'll go mad. You'll go mad. And with me, I'm honestly to the point where I just enjoy Dragon Ball no matter the format that it's available, because it brings me a lot of joy, makes me happy, and I'm always going to, you know, consume it. So, again, whether it's in anime format, English, Japanese, I don't care if it's in freaking Martian, I will watch it. Just give me subs. So yeah, I have no preference, honestly. But, yeah. Number 17. This is getting kind of hard to keep up. 17. What is something you have of Dragon Ball that most fans don't? I have a lot that most fans don't. For starters, I guess I would say a Dragon Ball channel, because I'm sure a lot of you guys don't have video channels. Although, some of you guys do. I have the full manga set, I guess, right here, as you can see. I'm holding one right here. I got quite a bit of merch up there. Let's actually move this up here. Look at all the merch. Look at all the merch. I got pretty much any SH Figure Arts release except for the original Future Trunks that I'm actually going to get next week, or by the time you watch this video, I think it should get shipped. And I also didn't get the original Super Saiyan Vegeta, but I got pretty much. I buy a lot of merch. Also, something else I have that most fans don't is I have this poster from the Resurrection F premiere early this year in LA. I got a chance to go see the movie in Japanese, with Japanese language with English subtitles. Originally, it was the first time it was broadcasted outside Japan, so that was exciting stuff. But I guess that stuff, what I just showed you technically, I don't know. Number 17, 18. Which fake transformation, fusion, or character do you like the most? Fake character do I like the most? Ooh, this is a tough one. Fake character, I gotta say maybe Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And it's funny because I never really appreciated Super Saiyan 4 Goku until I played Xenoverse, because up to that point it was kind of like, yeah, whatever, he's Super Saiyan 4, it's great. And when I played Xenoverse, I feel like I started liking his character a lot more. I mean, he's not like my favorites, I will say that, but it wasn't until I really got into Xenoverse where I kind of like started liking Super Saiyan 4 as a character more. But again, everybody has their preferences, and that's mine, I guess. No, I take that back. I gotta go with, well, I mean, define what is fake. What is a fake character mean? That's the question. Are you like talking about like Dragon Ball AF and stuff like that? In which case, I don't keep up with any of that, so I don't have an answer for that one. Fake fusion. Honestly, I don't have an answer for number 18, because I feel like number 18 is talking about fake anything outside of the actual content, so outside of GT, Super, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, and the game. So stuff that we saw. Actually, somebody drew, I remember a couple months ago, somebody drew an awesome Janemba Super Buu fusion. I'll go with that one, actually. I'll go with that. If you want to look it up, just type in Janemba Super Buu fusion. I might toss up this video if I remember it, but if I don't, just type in Janemba Super Buu fusion, DeviantArt or something like that. But I remember I saw that a while ago and it was pretty epic. So I'm going to go with that. I don't know, it's tough. I never really veered off from all the actual content that came out. Like I said, I never got into Absalon. I never got into Dragon Ball AF. I never got into all the phony, crazy fusions and stuff like that. I just kind of consumed what was given to me. So Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, the games. And that was kind of like what was, you know, my thing. So I didn't really get into stuff outside like the fan-made stuff, just because I don't know. I don't really know why I never got into it. But that's, again, everybody has their own preference, I guess. All right. Number 19. What is the one thing you love about Dragon Ball? It's simple. The thing about Dragon Ball, the reason why it's so successful is because I feel like anybody can get into it. It's simple. There's a lot of awesome characters, which is the most important thing, obviously, with a series. If you don't like the characters, you're not going to want to watch a series. The action is freaking awesome. The moments are incredible, very memorable. And on top of that, I feel like if you grow up with Dragon Ball, it's always going to have a big moment in your heart, which I grew up with it. It was my first anime. It got me into anime. And because of that, you know, it's always going to have that spot in my heart. Now, it's not my favorite anime, I will tell you right now. It's far from my favorite, because I've seen a bunch, you know. But it's still up there. It's still up there. It's always going to be in my heart. And like I said, that's probably the one thing I love about it. It's simple. It's awesome. It's very fun. If you're watching something you're enjoying, you're having fun, you're having like an incredible time, that's how you know you like a series or whatever. So that's just how I gauge it. Number 20. What is one thing you hate about Dragon Ball? One thing that I hate about Dragon Ball? I feel like this should be an easy answer, and I should have actually a bunch. But now that I'm sitting in front of this camera, I'm kind of like blanking out, and I don't really have an answer to that. But one thing that I hate about Dragon Ball, I guess it's too good. It's weird to say that, because in other anime get really dark, and even though Dragon Ball has had a lot of dark moments, they don't really get dark compared to other anime. Like, for example, death is a joke. When someone dies in like other anime, which I'm not gonna talk about the animes because I don't want to ruin them in case you haven't caught up with them, but if someone dies in another series, you actually feel that. In Dragon Ball, we've literally gotten to the point where it's like, oh, okay, look, Goku died again, it's cool, you know, he'll be back next episode. Like, I want that kind of emotion with Dragon Ball, which we never ever got and never going to get, excuse me. And I feel like that's the one thing I would say I hate about it, but I don't really hate that. It's weird because I have to like look for someone to hate it, and because of that, I feel like I don't really have a problem with it. And the final one, 21, where does Dragon Ball series rank in your favorite anime of all time? Honestly, it's probably my top 10. And I say that with a question mark because I don't really know. My top five anime right now. Top 5. No order because I hate ordering anime in top 5. But my top 5 consist of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I got the manga. It's right here. I'm actually using the box to hold my computer up so I can record my face. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Hunter x Hunter, Death Note probably, Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm blanking out. Why am I blanking out so much? Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho. It's definitely my top 10. I would say that. But there's just so many great series out there that when you step. Okay, so here's the challenge I have. I know a lot of you guys who are watching this channel have only seen Dragon Ball or have only seen a handful of anime. That's why whenever I see someone who loves the top like 5 animes that are the most popular, I always assume that that person hasn't seen that many anime out there. And even though Dragon Ball I have a Dragon Ball channel, I freaking love Dragon Ball. When you go out there and explore other anime, there's a lot of awesome stuff to consume. Story-wise, adventures, again, being able to feel so happy while just watching a series. That's what other anime bring me. I mean, Dragon Ball does that too, but others do it better. So Hunter x Hunter, I'll easily tell you, is my #1 favorite anime of all time. It's great. I love it from start to finish. I can literally go back and rewatch it several times. I watched it like 4 times. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, great anime again. It's very short. It's like 65 episodes. Great pacing, awesome characters, funny, awesome action, very heartfelt moments in the series. Yu Yu Hakusho was actually my first anime outside of Dragon Ball that I really got addicted to. Then you got all the other animes in between, like Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist, the original one, I guess. Even though that wasn't as good as Brotherhood, it's still pretty good. Samurai Champloo, Outlaw Star. I love the Outlaw Star. Parasite, going into more newer stuff. One Punch Man. I started watching this new anime this week called Erase, which is awesome. When it comes down to it, honestly, I feel like picking a top anime is tough. It's really tough, and I can never actually do it. But I have my handful, like my top 5 that I always remember. It's like, oh yeah, easy. I got these 5, and even though Dragon Ball is probably not my top 5, it's my top 10. I'll say that. That makes sense. It's weird. Like I said, I have a Dragon Ball channel, but again, when it comes down to Dragon Ball, it's the most fun series to discuss out of anything. There's so many like what if questions, scenarios, and fights. Whereas that you can't really do with other anime. Like, even though Hunter x Hunter is my favorite anime of all time, I can't sit here and make videos about it because, well, for starters, Togashi kind of answers a lot of questions for you, so there's not really much that I can question in it. Like, I can't say, oh, what if Hisoka, fought so-and-so? I can't do that because we know the answer to that already. Whereas Dragon Ball, it leaves so much open for the imagination, and it also reminds me of back in the days when I was in high school, middle school and stuff, and I would watch an episode of Dragon Ball Z and go to class next day and be like, did you see what happened? What if this happens next week? What if that happens next week? It just has all these questions you keep asking, which is the reason why Dragon Ball is probably also so popular. It's just so fun to discuss. So I guess in a way you could technically put Dragon Ball in my top 5 because, it makes me so, I don't know, it might. I mean, technically, I would probably put it in my top 5, but I also feel like there's other anime out there that deserve the title. So, honestly, when ultimately comes down to it, I don't like picking favorites, except for Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter, to me, is my #1 favorite anime of all time. But when it comes down to it, I I don't like making lists outside of anything else. So for now, I'm just gonna say Hunter x Hunter is my favorite, and outside of everything else, it's kind of the same pedestal essentially. So whatever I watch and enjoy and have fun with is what's my favorite. So I hope that answers your question. So yeah. Anyways, this is a pretty long tag. So again, I tag Expert Games, C Reacts, and Jadentastic. Go to their channels to tell them I tagged them. I will also tell them myself as well. But if you guys have any answers yourself that you want to answer, again, the questions are in the description below. Go reread them, answer them yourself. If you want to do some more, I had a hair in my mouth. If you want to answer some of them or all of them, go for it. But I would love to know from you guys as well these answers. So feel free to go crazy in the comments below. Anyways, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like right below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, hashtag Dragon Ball Q&A. Actually, no, it's too complicated. Let's just do hashtag Beerus was here. And let's see how you guys make it to the very end. So comment that below. And as always, you guys enjoy us today. My name is Rhymestyle, and I'll see all you awesome Super Sandwiches in the comment section below. Peace.